Hey kindergarten friends, welcome back to our shapes. We're going to be working in our 2D shape packet, so grab that out. But before we do, yesterday we read this book, It's a Shape, and on one of the pages it talked about polygons, and it says all polygons have corners. So I'm going to read a different book that kind of brings in what polygons are, so I'm going to put this here for a minute. And this book is called Shape Up, Fun with Triangles and Other Polygons. And it's written by David A. Adler. So shape up. What is a polygon? It is a flat shape with all straight sides. Now that's what I call a square meal, he said. With 2 slices of American cheese, a toothpick, pretzel sticks, plain paper, graph paper, a pencil, a plastic knife, and a slice of bread, you can learn more about them. So if you wanted to grab some of these items, you can. We're not going to go through each page and everything, but I'm going to show you some things that you can do. I'm just going to use crayons as my ways to make things, but just listen and you can do this with anything as you're eating. So you can also eat it if you get hungry. So triangles. So they made a triangle out of a piece of cheese. So they just drew. So they do, I'm going to turn this around so you can see. They took, and you could actually, I'm going to flip over this. They took 3 dots, they drew 3 dots, and then they just drew their triangle on their piece of cheese, just like that. You can do it really long, but if you draw 3 dots and then connect them, look at this, you can go make any kind, big or small, of a triangle. All you need are 3 dots, because those are the 3 corners.
Hey, it looks like a snowman face.
Oh yeah,
there's its eyes and its nose.
Oh, funny. So that's what they did here. So triangles are 3-sided polygons. And they just made a flat one. They just put it on their cheese. So you can have your sandwich cut out like a polygon today, or if you have crackers, you can take bites, how you guys do, and make it into,
nibble them.
make it into a polygon shape. Other cheese triangles are the same. They probably don't look exactly like mine. We're different shapes. This is a cheesy situation. While all triangles are closed shapes with 3-sided shapes.
With 3 straight sides.
Thank you. 3 straight sides. Not all triangles are the same. So that's what I'm saying. There are different sizes. And when you get older, you'll learn about the different names for those triangles. But for us, they're 3-sided and they have 3 corners and they're called triangles. And you can make them with anything. So if you didn't want to draw and you wanted to make triangles using objects, you can do that. If I wanted one with a longer side, and I just add extra things. Whew. So there's a triangle using 3 sides and 3 corners, just using my crayons. All right, so let's keep going. So when you make your triangles, the corners, these are called angles, and each one, depending on the type that you make, are either bigger depending on how you move it. So if I were to make with this, I could have an angle that way, or I can make it a smaller angle in the middle and do it like this. So depending on how you want it, or I can make it really wide, this angle, and then connect those corners. So however you move these, that's the angle. The angle is on the inside, and it's usually connected with a corner. Or the vertex is another name for it. You can make shapes using paper by folding it and getting more angles of what that triangle is. So I'm going to skip through because he did what I just did, drawing a bunch of triangles, all different sizes and different shapes. So then we talked about last time that quadrilateral word. So now you're going to make 4 dots anywhere on a paper. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to connect those 4 dots. So now you've made a quadrilateral. Different, and you can move those around however you like. Draw them on any paper. Make 4 more dots anywhere on a sheet of paper. Connect them to form another quadrilateral. So you'll make as many different shapes as you can see. This one is very different from that one. 4 sides and 4 corners.
And quadrilaterals are polygons?
They are, because they have sides and corners. That's what a polygon is. A polygon, as it says up here, is a flat shape with straight sides. So now on your paper, some of you, if you did art with Miss Lisa, you've talked about this. You've drawn a horizontal line which goes across the book. You've done squiggly lines, or you can draw vertical lines which go up and down. And those are lines that you'll find in these polygons and shapes. With each horizontal line is a parallel with other horizontal lines. There's always the same distance between, so a parallelogram is another big word you'd be using. Each vertical line is a parallel too, meaning they're not going to cross. So if you were to continue this line of pretzels, it would go on forever and never cross if it's all horizontal, and the same if it's all vertical. Now, if I made one diagonal, like in a triangle, would they cross? So if I did this, there's my horizontal crayons, but if I turned one diagonal, are they going to cross now? They would. So then they wouldn't be parallel. These are some big words today. So they're drawing more pictures. They use graph paper, which is really fun. If your parents happen to have graph paper at home, it's a fun way to draw shapes on it. You can definitely do that. And they made all types of four-sided quadrilaterals. Some with diagonal lines, some with straight lines. This one is a rectangle where it has two long and two short, and a trapezoid, which has two horizontal lines and two diagonal lines. And they're just making more, in this book, more shapes using their pretzels. Pretzel sticks are a fun thing to make shapes with. So they made a quadrilateral. This one has 4 sides. So other polygons. So now you can even do this with lunch. If you take a slice of bread with a plastic knife, this would be fun, and try and trim off the edges. So now, first you start off with 4 and you have a square. If you start cutting corners off, your shape changes place. So now the bread has 5 sides. Remember what's a 5-sided shape is called? Like the building in Washington, a pentagon. And if you cut off another corner, now it has 6 sides. This polygon is called a hexagon. And another corner, if you cut off, it'll have 7 sides. Now it's a heptagon. And if you cut off another corner, it has 8 sides, and you'll know that shape. You'll see it a lot when you're driving. It's called an octagon, or stop sign. It's going to keep going. It's going to cut off another corner. If you keep going and you cut off some more and you have a 9-sided polygon is a nonagon. A 10-sided polygon is a decagon. An 11-sided polygon is a hendecagon. Right? Hendecagon? Mm-hmm. Don't say that one very often. And a 12-sided polygon is a dodecagon. Those are ones you don't hear very often, but I actually have in the classroom a 12-sided dice. First grade knows about that. So look in your kitchen or outside in your class, well, not in your classroom, in your home for polygon-shaped things. Keep on the lookout for them. Remember, they're everywhere. Anything that's a flat shape that has sides is a polygon. So before we move to our book, I have on the back here the words polygon. Let's look at our shapes. And we've labeled our quadrilaterals, the ones that have 4 sides. Now we're going to label the ones that are polygons. They are flat with sides, and it doesn't matter how many sides. So let's just start from the top. Is a triangle a polygon? Yes, it is. Is a circle a polygon? Does it have sides? Hopefully you said no. How about an oval? Not a polygon. It doesn't have any sides. Let's start with a rectangle. Is a rectangle a polygon? Does it have sides? Yes, it does. How about a square? Or a rhombus? Does it have sides? Is it a polygon? Let's go over here to the trapezoid. Does a trapezoid have have sides to make it a polygon? All right, so we've labeled our quadrilaterals. They all have sides, so we know they're polygons. Let's keep going. This is our 5-sided shape. That was mentioned in the book. Is that a polygon? Yes, it is. Our hexagon has 6 sides, so it is also a polygon. And the heptagon, and our last shape with 8 sides, what is that called? An octagon. And that is also a polygon. So there's only 2 that are up here that are not polygons because they don't have sides. And that's our oval and our circle. So be on the lookout as you're taking bites of your food. make it into different shaped polygons. All right, so let's move on to our packet. We're just doing 2 pages, and they're pretty, they're fun. They're involving coloring.
Oh, yay.
So today you're just finding triangles and rectangles. And I have to say, when I assessed you at the beginning of the school year, these 2 were the hardest ones to remember. Sometimes friends reverse them. Not everybody, but because they have the angle word in it, triangle, rectangle. So it's trying to remember. Later this week, I'll give you a clue as to help you with the triangle part. So you're just coloring triangles. What color? Can you read what that says? You're going to color it yellow. So I'm going to do that first so I remember. Color all triangles yellow. And then the rectangle is what color? Oops. I gave you the hint. Hopefully you didn't see it. That says green. So you're going to color all the rectangles green down below. All right. So, and they can be different shapes and turned around different ways. So find them. Every single shape on here is going to be a color, either yellow or green. All right, and when you're done with that, you turn to our last page. So this is shape sizes. So it's using a circle and 3 other polygons, a square, a rectangle, and a triangle. And you're going to cut out these shapes below and paste them in size order. So you can start with small to big. Nope, we're going to start with big, it looks like. So you're starting with big, and you're going to go to small. So you'll find all the circles, and you'll put the next biggest one, and then the medium size, and then the smallest one. And you'll do that with all 4 of those shapes. And that is your work today. It's just differentiating. That's a big word. Showing where the different sizes are in your shapes. And remember, what are these called that have sides? Our new big word today, polygons. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.